Now, Florida State, they did some tapping of their own. You know,
tap that ass.
Made Florida State alum Pink very happy. He was at the game, right?
I was at the game. I was in homicidal mode. It was fantastic. It really was.
Who connects those two things?
What?
He says, I was in homicidal mode, and it was fantastic.
It was, man. All right, I just said, so I had my 2 college roommates, guys that I met my freshman year, stayed friends with for over 30 years now. The fact of the matter is we have not all been in the same place physically in over 25 years.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. And so this weekend we were to go to this game. And, you know, one of the guys brought a son. I brought 2 of my kids. And then I brought some other friends. Juan was with us and my cousin Carlton. And we go to this game, and it's, you know, like you're reconnecting with people, we've talked here and there, but not like when you're in person, it's just different. And so we were having a great time. And we had they had the college stories that they were telling my kids and Carlton. And then my kids and Carlton had the stories for the last 25 years that they were telling them. And everybody was just like having a great time. Yeah. But we go to the game, and these guys, they know me so well. It's like at some point, like this reality hit. It's like, dude, if we lose, this is going to be like a really bad night. Like Pink's not going to handle this well. Like this is going to go to a dark place. And like, it was kind of like an acknowledged thing. And, you know, so we're at the game, and it was a bit of a rough first half. We had some penalties and stuff. And when I saw I was in homicidal mode, I'm like just literally from my seat, double middle fingers to Brian Kelly. You know, I want to watch his head explode or come off of his body or something. It was just pure violence. And then we grab control of the game late, win going away. Everybody's just thrilled. And there was just a moment like my roommate Brian, he had his son who's 13, Seth. I had 2 of my kids. Now, my daughter went to a bowl game with me last year when Florida State was down here. My other son has not gone to an FSU game since he was really pretty young and doesn't have a good recall. And the 3 of us, the 3 roommates, we're going nuts. We're living and dying by this. And it was this thing where it's like, it dawned on me. It's like our kids, like they've watched us and heard us yell at TVs for this whole lifetime. And like now they were seeing why. Yeah. This is why they're so passionate. Like, here's these 3 guys with like regular jobs and, ostensibly successful, and they're losing their shit wearing matching shirts on a Sunday night in September. And, but like, it's like, this is what it is. Yeah. Like, it's a special, special experience to be a part of that. And it's not unique to Florida State, but like, to me, anybody that's gone to a big football school in the South, it's the same feeling. You just change the colors of your uniform, maybe change your chant, but that's what it is. And that gets inside your soul and it stays there. Even when times are bad, you still watch the games. And then when times are good, it just doesn't get better.
Got to ride the high?
Yeah, ride the hell out of it. No, it was amazing, man. And it just was like, there's just – It was great, and it was great to share it with like so many people that mean a lot to me, and it just was a great experience, a great win. And I'll say this, much like the Colorado situation, you win that first game against what appears to be a good opponent, and you look at the rest of your schedule, and it kind of opens up a little bit. Yeah. And you're like, if we don't blow this, we're probably going to be standing around at the end with a chance. We started doing the immediate calculations, and then Clemson goes out and loses the next day, and
to Duke basketball.
Yeah, to Duke basketball. And you're looking. I mean, Miami doesn't seem great. Florida seems down. There's no game to me unless we start dropping games, that we should be the underdog in. Until you get,
and that's
to
how I look at it. It's not necessarily wins and losses when you're forecasting, looking at the schedule down the line, but it's like, okay, what is the game we're going to be the underdog in? Yeah, and if we're not, we got a good shot. The guys just don't have to blow it, like you said earlier.
Right. Yeah. You play up to your abilities.
Now, I do say, and this is before we get back to the game really quickly here, but Miami is going to be tricky. It's a rivalry, and they're okay. Of course, they're not great. They're not, Yeah, even if you say good, I don't know. Some people say they're good, some people say they're not. But it's tricky because it's a rivalry and they are okay, right? So you put that in the win, take that for what you want. But outside of that, I looked at the schedule too, and I'm just like,
and I looked at it objectively. I'm not looking at it like, is there a scenario where we could possibly lose?
Right.
There is for a couple of these games, but I'm also looking at it from the perspective of, okay, we should be fine. We should,
right.
I mean, there's no. To me, if we lose the rest of our regular season, we beat ourselves.
Yeah.
That's how I look at this, and teams do that all the time, so it can happen. But that's the thing. But I was also another kind of thought going back in time a little bit. When I was at Florida State, it was during the dynasty years, and so most of the games on the schedule that you go to, live on campus, you fully expect to win, and you literally didn't think it was possible to lose. And then there was always 2 or 3 games each year that we're on the fence, anything could happen, and that's what makes a game like Saturday or Sunday night so special. The real possibility of losing was there, and we knew that we were good, but you could still get beat by a good team. And when you come through in that situation, it is a catharsis.
Yeah. There's
no other way to describe it. I mean, there's just an elation, a sense of deep satisfaction, and just, all right, man, we're who we thought we were.
Yeah. Now, like you said, you are who you thought you are. Jordan is definitely right in the thick of things as far as Heisman. It's week 1, of course.
Yeah.
But we had those expectations. That's why I remember we forecasted FSU a few weeks ago. That was one of the questions. We said, as long as the team success is there, which it should be.
Can be, yeah.
He's going to be in the thick of things and right on schedule. He is, right? So how do you see that going as far as in comparison to the other guys in week 1?
I'm a big believer that the Heisman Trophy is lost more than it's won in modern times. I don't think that it's truly about being the best player, because we've seen guys win it one year and be arguably a better player the next year and not win it.
Yeah.
It could happen to Caleb Williams this year. And so it's really about losing. It is like a pageant almost. You go out every week and play, and you put together your resume. But anything you lose it in the sense that if Colorado drops a couple of games, those guys are going to fall off the radar. If and Travis's thing is we have to win.
Yeah.
He's going to make some fun plays, but I don't think anybody thinks he's the best player in the country, not necessarily the top draft pick. That's probably going to be Caleb Williams. And then, it's all about just continue to win and being the guy at the end, and that, Caleb maybe has a bad performance and they drop a game or two, and maybe Colorado hits a rough patch.
That's what you mean by losing. Yeah. And that happens, like you said, literally damn near every year.
Every year. Because, because the last several years, you get to the end of it, and by the time they're having a ceremony, there's a certain inevitability to who's going to win it.
Right. There is.
You feel it every year. And you didn't necessarily feel it in week 1 or 2 or even 5, but it's just something happened to every other candidate along the way. Maybe a guy, got hurt, missed 3 games or this or that. And kind of the last guy standing.
I'm going to tell you what I feel, though. I think Caleb is going to get an extra couple inches of rope.
In what respect?
He's everywhere, man.
All the commercials and everything.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's he's a likable guy.
Seems like it. He cut his hair too.
Yeah.
No, I wonder.
What is
that?
He has a PR group. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it, man.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that wasn't just a casual decision.
It was not a casual decision. He has a PR team. They're coaching him each way how it goes. And then,
he's in the Heisman House commercials.
He's in the Heisman House commercials. There's news today that broke yesterday or today. We're going to talk about it later in the show. He may stay in college. He loves USC. He loves college. He loves competing in college.
That's not why.
No. The NFL, it depends on what NFL team
the why
has the top pick.
And what drives that, and this is part of the new landscape. The NFL thing, the worst record in the league gets the top pick. There's no lottery. There's no whatever. And so theoretically, and what his dad said is, you're set up to fail.
Yeah.
You're going to the worst team in the league, the worst organization in the league, and you're supposed to make it all right. And so now that the economics are different and with the commercials and other things and being in LA, he's probably going to make a couple billion this year. And that takes away the urgency
right?
to go play, for a bad team. And so what I think they're doing is they were just kind of keeping their options open and making a statement of intent,
which is 100% fair. I mean, you just can't blame the guy. But like I said, we'll get to that. Yeah. But to close the loop on Florida State and Colorado here, you got any last things you want to say there?
Not just, game on. Shout out to Dion, but shout out to Mike Norvell too. I mean, he's got that team like in a special place. I was talking to my dad about it, and the way they're able to hit the portal every season, bring in good people that have immediate impact. And what I was trying to express to my dad the other day, it's bigger than that. Like, he gets these guys in, and they're here for the summer, and by game one, they're like leaders and fabric players in this team. I don't know what's going on or how that's done, but there is some sort of design or intent to the way he operates in integrating people into the group, and he's got it on lock right now.
Did he have success at his last stop? Where was he?
He was at Memphis. He was there for a couple of seasons, and like his last season there, I think they lost one game. They won the conference, and they won the bowl game, but he had already taken our job. No, they lost the bowl game. They won the conference title game against Cincinnati and Luke Fickell, and then he took the FSU job, and the interim guy coached him in the bowl.
That's not always a sure thing, though, because that's a natural progression for smaller D1 guys who have success in either a year or two or a sustained amount of time, and they go up to a bigger D1. A lot of those guys fail. We saw it at UCF.
No, there's something
we may be seeing it at Florida. The guy who came from Louisiana, Billy Napier. So
there's something about Norvell, and it goes to when he got the job at FSU. He's coming from Memphis. One of my high school classmates, Leslie Johnson, shout out to her. She lives in Memphis. And she reached out to me when we got him. And she's not a huge football fan. She enjoys sports, but she's like, you guys got a great coach. And, again, she's not a Memphis grad. She's a FAMU grad. She's not somebody that, is crazy into sports where you know everything. But for her to say that, I took that to heart. And what I took it to mean is there's something a little different about this person as a person that makes her say that.
Yeah.
She's not somebody that's so into football that,
man,
I love the way they run, their third down packages. and that's pretty much what he's delivered.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, man, you listen to the players talk and they're all saying the same things. There's a deep culture that's going on, and the crazy thing is he's making it easy for new people to embrace it.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Well, we'll definitely see, where they go with this, and Florida State and Colorado, and you're rooting for Florida State. I'm not, but what can you do if you have a great team?
We can welcome you onto the bandwagon.
Shit. We'll be back in a couple of years, the Gators, hopefully. It's funny because, every year I enjoy the Facebook and IG banter between, Florida State, Miami, and Florida. And so I'm putting out my, whatever, just a joke on Florida State hate. And you got all the Florida State fans on my post. And like yesterday, I know Lester, he was saying, we were in a thing, and he was saying, I can't wait to get the Gators in November. We're gonna skin that Gator. And I replied, I said, man, by the time we get to y'all, there won't be no Gator left, man.
Just some bones.
It's all going to be bones by the time.